Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival, now with events throughout the year.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome bay with shafafa on.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We're live again. We're on the scene again. We're on the hunt for food again. We're at Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale, right across from Holy Cross Hospital. A very fond place for memories from Defo when they tried to chop off his foot.
God.
And for
Premature
Jim Sarni.
evaluation, I would have to say.
Always get that second opinion. That's what we've learned. How was everybody's holidays? Christmas yesterday. Hanukkah and Christmas rolled into one day. Defo.
I'm deferring to Lubie on this because he is the king of festivities and always happy, and he sounded like he had a good time.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, we did Christmas Eve at my in-laws, Christmas morning to afternoon at my in-laws. We did some stuff with my family over the weekend. It's been a very festive and family-oriented weekend into week, and I'm really excited to be focused back onto New Year's and what's going on with the food and the sports scene.
Yeah, I had a festive day yesterday. Did a doubleheader. First hosted a Christmas brunch with Val at our home in Fort Lauderdale. Had a great crew. About 25 people came over. All kinds of items were consumed, some which were made by Val and her family. Niece and her son helped. The big hit of the party was something called an eggnog-soaked French toast casserole.
Interesting. Okay.
And I'm not a big fan of eggnog. I do like French toast, and this came out superbly. It was great. Also brought a whole mess of bagels, the other round thing with
nice
from our friends at Grandpa's, and I got a whole bunch of spreads and smoked salmon and bagels, and then we had that. We had also a nice baked holiday ham. I put a slice of ham on a bagel for Christmas. Is that against the law?
I don't know.
I wouldn't think so. The question is this: every holiday, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, or any other time of the year, New Year's maybe, how is it that honey-baked ham are the only people that really know how to make a ham?
I'm going to disagree.
The only people. You could disagree all you want, and it's not going to, have any kind of merit with anybody. They're the only people. You could go somewhere and have a great piece of ham. We've been to Mother's in New Orleans, supposedly the greatest baked ham anywhere in the world.
That's good
I don't
ham.
agree. It's okay. But the honey baked people are the only people that know how to do it.
As a pretty non-observant Jew, I'm not the biggest ham connoisseur.
Do you agree? This gentleman over here, do you agree? Honey baked ham, the only good ham you could get.
He
agreeing
pretty much.
agreeing over here, the doctor over here,
Sign of
agreeing
desperation
100%.
when he's polling the jury in here. All right, can I assert my my own opinion?
Listen, I know you're going check on this, so here we go.
No, you're entitled to that opinion. All I know is yesterday.
Lubie, mark that down.
Everybody's entitled to opinions, and that's
no, it's
fine.
true. It's a truism.
But what I'm going to say
I
is,
wouldn't normally want to concede
yesterday,
that.
we prepared. I say we. I had nothing to do with it.
Well,
Val bought a ham from Publix, and basically
you're going to compare Publix to.
It was a big, nice hunk, whatever you call it.
But she did the whole
of
thing,
lamb.
right? She did a glaze.
But her and her niece, who was visiting from New Orleans, they glazed it.
Yeah.
They put pineapple rings on top of it.
Did it peel right off?
Baked it, and we cut it and sliced it.
Yeah,
and it was a delicious ham. And I say that as a Jew who put it on a bagel. It was a great piece of ham.
No, you're entitled to that. And I'll give you that. Sounded like a lot of love and care and preparation went into it. But I'm going to say this, and
there's a reason people line up for hours.
Agrees with me.
Yeah,
you can make all the ham you want. And then anytime you go get a honey baked ham, they have that available at any party. It peels right off and bingo. It's the best piece of ham you ever had.
Well, here at Wicked Cheesesteaks, I don't think Brian does a ham and cheese
nothing
sub,
ham.
but they might, maybe. I don't know.
It's not even a competition.
He does a lot of things, but what he does, and I'm seeing the cheesesteaks rolling out for Boxing Day, and I've got a lot
Boxing
on my-
Day to me only, I immediately thought of Lubie boxing all of the food that we take out of his restaurants
This will
across the
be
year.
a-
Which how many boxes total would it be
Oh God.
if you took 5 days a week? So what is that? We're
on average, I think he leaves with 4 to
we're
5
leaving out 100
boxes.
days, so we're talking about
It's not
260
4 to
days,
5.
maybe.
And we don't do it on weekends. We
That's
do some
1,000
extra
boxes.
shows.
1,000
There's
boxes.
hundreds
Say
of
we've
thousands
done
of boxes,
200
yeah.
shows in a year. My over under on boxes that go to the Lubie
500.
household is at least 500.
Yeah, 500 for sure.
500.
Definitely.
Imagine. Oh my God. All right. So what do
Every
you got?
every day is Boxing Day.
What's
Uh,
everybody?
well,
What's
here-
the
no,
Boxing Day really about?
I
Because
want
I
to-
think of like
So,
Hagler Hearns.
Here's the thing. All right, I've been wearing the Santa hat a lot this month. I've been in a joyous
There's something
festival.
about your hair. Let me see.
No, a
Oh, okay.
festive Santa mood. But
Okay.
today,
No, your hair's good.
the Santa hat comes
That's
off,
it?
and the boxing gloves come on because
Uh-oh.
today on this Boxing Day,
You were angry the last year.
I'm ready to. Well, that was Festivus, and believe it or not, that was kind of a good-natured.
Yeah, we weren't
No,
that
no, but you
good.
started
Today-
talking about the tea, and then you,
Oh yeah, well the
some guy
ladies who
said something you didn't like on Let's Eat South Florida. and
okay.
that
So
was like 20 minutes. Of
in
anger.
in
Yeah.
that vein, because those ladies were ridiculous. But okay, fine, they're
I
entitled
don't
to
know.
their
Don't even go
opinions.
there.
But no, but in that vein, the gloves are coming on today because I am ready to rumble with some of the Let's Eat South Florida people
Oh,
and
no.
the Post. We hit 180,000 members.
Can I make
today.
a call here first?
Yeah, you could do. Uh,
Yeah.
but the way you mentioned honey baked ham and what happens right before Thanksgiving and Christmas at honey baked ham?
Long lines, man.
Long lines,
Long
big
lines.
crowds.
It's crazy.
Nobody expects anything less, and you're just thankful
You just
that
eat it, yeah. But
we
but
live in a
that's why.
country-
That's why.
we can assemble peacefully in a line and
Yeah.
get food at the end of the line. And sometimes, all right, if you place an order and they say it's going to be ready at a certain time, some places do
They're
things
pretty good in general.
but you got to just say, oh, we could be in so many worse places. We could be in a famine riddled country in Africa. We could be in Syria. We're here where there's bounty. And so what I was annoyed with today on the Let's Eat group,
You were annoyed with the group?
of course, but all these complaint
Louis,
posts.
did you get that?
I mean, that's
He
an
was annoyed with
understatement.
the group.
That's an
Did you
understatement of
check
the
out the
century.
group this morning?
No, no,
Okay,
no.
this is my favorite thing because I'm a masochist that actually derives pleasure from getting upset.
We all know this about you. We've learned this.
So, yes, there was a bunch of positive posts, but it sticks out like a sore thumb when after these glorious holidays and everybody should be in a good mood where people come on and bitch and moan about A, their Chinese food order took forever to get on Christmas
I
Day.
have one on that.
B, that they went to Joseph's Market on Christmas Eve, Tuesday in Boca, and they were given a time slot to pick up their pre-ordered lasagna from 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Well, the guy gets there and it wasn't ready and they were backed up. So he got it at 4. So it took him an hour beyond the 3
It's a
p.m.
little
window.
annoying, no, and that kind of thing.
It's annoying, but
Yeah.
you know what? Just go through the aisles, get a 6-pack of beer, start chugging in the parking lot, take yourself a gummy, and have a little perspective. Because let me give you
No, but I mean, if you have things to do and you're picking up something, and I deal with this a lot with the Mustang, it's always picking up something
Yeah,
on the way to somewhere where we're already late.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
Yep,
now the timing has to be perfect. Yesterday, we're picking up a pizza on our way to our dinner with the family, Christmas dinner, because Mustang doesn't eat a lot of stuff that they serve, so she wanted to have something at least, and a lot
Yeah.
of places were closed. But the timing has to be there. I mean, if you're sitting there for an hour, no, that's it.
then
You're
you're
out.
an hour behind, and then you show
No,
up
I
late
mean,
and
but
you say,
then you
hey,
might blow it
it's
for everybody.
crazy out there. Well, forget about it.
But then your option probably would be to just leave it there.
Yeah, your
and-
option
and
is
do without.
this.
Yeah,
How about this? If a
but
guy
the
knows
timing's important.
he's getting a lasagna for Christmas Day, pick it up on Monday.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Man,
No,
this
it's
no,
going to
about your
stay the
house.
extra day.
But I will say this, that there is some, I mean, you have to allow something for the fact that a lot of times people are timing the whole thing. The ride up there, I got to get gas, I got to pick this up, I got to stop there and get a card, because I got to Publix, I waited till Christmas Eve to buy some Christmas cards, and I get there and the only thing they had was sorry for your loss. And
Right. This is
I didn't
what
want to give that to
happens.
my 6 and 9-year-old grandchildren with the $100 bill because they were demanding a stick for Christmas.
They should give that to you every Christmas because that
Well, I
would,
needed it more
you're,
than they
you're,
did.
you're
trust me.
tallying
Yeah.
up your wins and losses.
Oh, you know
for
what
the year.
happened? Oh, this is just an aside on toys because I'm out of touch with the modern day toy, and Lubie probably could relate to this more.
I haven't bought toys
But
for kids
where
in
you get
years.
the what was virtual thing,
No,
where you put the mask on your
VR,
face, and all of a
yeah.
sudden you're at the dentist's office. So This is what my 6-year-old grandson Christian wanted for Christmas, and literally he looked like Chuck Wepner getting off the stool
Oh
for the
no!
15th round of the Ali fight when he got up after like 20 minutes of doing this. And he
Nice.
still didn't want to let his older brother have a shot at it for 5 minutes.
Oh my god!
That's funny.
How crazy. I
I
mean,
love
the
kids.
toys now. I mean, we used to go outside and shoot marbles on Christmas Day.
I got
We have video games in my ear, but
Val's
we still.
grandkids. I got them a couple of yo-yos, something that they could actually
Yo-yo.
play
Oh,
with.
good luck.
Yeah, Dunkin' yo-yos, classic.
Yeah.
Are they going to use these things? I don't know.
They'll
Young
learn.
kids
It's
are
better
funny.
than just potchking on their computers
I
and
agree.
phones.
Oh,
and-
no, they were
doing
both
some-
buried in this stuff.
I
I mean,
agree.
the entire time. I never saw their faces.
Yeah, no, at
I
least
love both of them dearly. I never saw their faces.
Even if-
3 hours. Never
even
saw
if
their
they
faces.
whack each other in the face accidentally with the yo-yo, at least
Still
you know
something.
you learn some tricks and do some hand-eye
I
coordination
agree.
and things like
I
that.
don't buy the toys.
Let's go out and play ball. You couldn't wait to ditch your parents back in the day and say,
100%.
"Hey, Ma, we'll be back in
Yeah.
time for dinner." And you'd come home a filthy mess after playing like baseball or punch ball or whatever in the dirt. And that was Christmas. Now kids are locked in a room.
Yes.
This kid had the mask on. Literally, he walked out like he was a zombie in a Night of the Living Dead. Ate nothing, and that was it.
That's it. Hey, so getting back to my diatribe, Joseph, let me just contrast it with
We don't
ano-
want you to be mad.
with
That was
another
right.
story, okay?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
so me and my daughter on Christmas Eve morning, I try to get all my shopping done
Leslie
for all the
Viss is
various
cringing
things.
right now. She'd say my daughter and I.
My daughter and I,
Yeah,
okay, on
yeah.
Christmas Eve morning, Tuesday morning. I had done all my shopping. I thought I was all done, and then she was like, "Oh, do you have any desserts for the Christmas Eve dinner, the Feast of the Seven Fishes?" And I was like, "No, I thought anyway they were going to go to Publix," and I was like, "No, Publix, their desserts and their little mini
Publix
frozen
isn't bad
pickle-
with that stuff.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's
No,
for
their
a
bakery's all
holiday
right, yeah.
meal. I want a little
Oh,
more.
I had
And
a key lime pie from Publix.
I like their
and it was
baked goods.
great.
Key lime
I-
pie from
I'm gonna
Publix.
say-
I like their
I'm
baked
going to
goods.
give them a
But
thumbs
I'm
up
talking about
100%.
their little, cannolis and eclairs and things
Well, I don't know how
like
we get that,
Not
but their
terrible.
cakes
No,
are
and when they
good.
say that,
Expensive, but not terrible.
Their cakes are good.
I said no. Let's go to Mimi's Ravioli.
Well, that's a whole
because
Oh,
I'm
good.
a masochist. Okay?
Yeah,
There's
something's
again
wrong
with
with you
the
on
punch.
This
Christmas
is
Eve.
about
You want
11,
Christmas Eve?
11 a.m. Mimi's Ravioli.
Yeah.
Hollywood.
They
They must
Classic
close at
stuff.
like 4 though.
They close at 4.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
were open. I didn't place any kind of pre-orders. I said, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to expect,
Yeah, good luck.
but it's all about situational reality.
Situation comedy.
And the
That's true.
situational reality. Thank
Speaking
you,
of
Brian.
which-
How are you?
So you were
He's got
ready, is
some
what
wings.
you're saying.
I was ready for anything. I was
You
ready to get
were-
turned away. I
Look
was
at
ready
you.
that it might take an
Oh,
hour.
man,
I was
look at
ready.
you.
It could take any amount of time. And you know
Wow.
what? I was
Thank-
just going to roll with the punches because I
Yeah.
had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And so we
Louis
go
is
there
here.
in Hollywood. It's located on Johnson Street in the 5700 block. The place has been there forever.
Nice.
And there
Generally
was
regarded as the best
Mimi's
of what they
ravioli is
do.
a big
Oh,
one.
they,
I
they
mean,
have
they really are great.
great bread, great
Yeah.
fresh
I mean,
mozzarella.
Spreado's,
their
constant,
Italian
sausages,
stuff's
yeah.
fantastic.
But their pastries are phenomenal. I love it. All right, let me get my Santa hat so it stays smudge free.
There you
I'll
go.
put it behind me. But
Where's
we
Sonny,
got
by
there-
the way?
I don't know. Sarni's
Something here.
boycotting us. I guess he's got
he
some.
angry?
I don't know. Is there some bowl game on? Like
No, the women's,
worthless windshield
the
wiper
women's
bowls.
bowling championships, college bowling championships.
he did give us breaking news. We'll get into that after.
Firestone
all right.
Lanes. Yeah.
So we go to Mimi's. There's a line out the door.
Yeah.
We stand in it. I didn't set my stopwatch or anything. We were, kind of kibitzing with some of the other fellow shoppers. There was the staffers there monitoring the intake, letting people in as people left the
Yeah,
Oh,
store.
wow.
they're being
They
very
have their,
efficient. Yeah,
they
yeah.
have their Mimi's.
It's kind of like parking at Santa Anita on opening day.
Yeah,
Used to
so
be.
they wave you
All right,
in.
somebody left.
Crowd control.
Yeah.
They have the T-shirt that says Mimi's Ravioli, and on the back it says "Leave the gun, take the cannolis and mozzarella," because it's both is really good there.
They have
So
great stuff
they
all
have great
across
stuff.
the board.
we go into the
Yeah.
front door thinking we're going to take a number or start milling around, and then it's like they're hurting us like cattle. There's a line that snakes all the way. They have the police yellow tape up. blocking
Christmas
off-
Eve at 6 p.m. This is what you're talking
This
about.
is Christmas Eve at about 11:30
Oh, okay.
a.m.
Well,
And
a little late.
we
to the
make
party,
our
man.
way orderly around through the store. I look at all the different products. They get some impulse buys. I bought a nice bottle of wine. I bought some hot cherry peppers. I saw the new Panettone display. They have all these different types of Panettone. I hate the traditional ones with the dried fruit and the raisins. And
Oh,
now
yeah,
they have
those
these.
aren't that great. Yeah.
And I've never bought a Panettone. I've received a few.
I used
of them,
to get them
and
Christmas
then
when I was a
regift
kid.
them
Yeah, yeah.
immediately, if not sooner.
Yeah, that's the first thing you give away.
But now they have some Panettones that I almost got, except for the fact that we were getting like 25 different pastries. But they have Panettone without the fruit or the raisins, and they include a bag of pistachio cream in there, so you can.
Oh,
It's
Oh,
like
wow.
basically a plain pound cake,
That'd be interesting.
panettone.
Mary
that you
Mark Falsetto,
squeeze-
man.
Yeah,
Mark-
you
he's thinking
squeeze some
Falsetto.
pistachio cream on there, and then you kind of like spread it around like Nutella, and it's kind of like a pound cake with pistachio cream thing. That I almost grabbed, but I didn't. Instead, we waited and we finally got our things, and it was pretty organized. And from start to finish, I'm going to estimate it probably took about 45 minutes to an hour,
That's not bad.
and no big whoop,
It is
right?
what it is.
At that
Uh,
time, yeah.
But these people, I don't want to say entitled. Okay, and so a guy on there,
You know what I love about you? Though you do a lot of kvetching about the kvetching.
Yeah.
You thrive on this. I was thinking about this in my walk of life
Let
today.
me-
I was like, what is a Mayo show going to be about today? It's probably going to be Mayo kvetching
about the question,
about the kvetching.
right?
So you
Because
managed to make this into a show.
it's
That's
a whole
funny.
industry now. It's a brilliant move,
Wow.
and
Like I would ignore these people. I really
yeah,
would.
but when you're an admin and you're confronted
Oh,
by
yeah,
it
that's the
every
problem.
day,
Yeah,
I'm
you're-
going to let you admin for a week.
No,
and
I wouldn't
see-
be any good at
way.
this. Yeah,
No
no,
way.
I would just agree with everybody.
No,
And-
just let it in
you
and be a
know
whole
me,
free for all.
I
Of
try
course, you're right. Yeah, of course they should have comped you the entire meal because your parking space was blocked for a second. You know, I mean, get out of here.
of these people
Yeah.
are but anyway, but somebody chimed in who I kind of, a guy I semi know, Larry Kerman. He's a lawyer. He lives in Buffalo. He comes down here in the winters, but he thinks that I'm always an apologist for everything and anything
We
when
can't-
it
you-
comes to restaurants.
Look, we can be. I admit it.
No, I wouldn't agree with
I
that.
almost
I would
agree.
not, and I my counter.
Yeah,
to
you
him-
are anyone who sponsors the show. No,
Well, that's
we don't want to give everything
the
away.
sponsors. They do a great
Wicked
job.
Cheesesteaks, by the way. Great
Yes,
place.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
look, well, that's another story.
You
because
haven't
the
even
wings-
chowed down on a wing
gonna-
yet, and
we're
that
gonna have
looks
some
amazing. Yeah,
wings.
that looks amazing.
and I'm going to bet they have some flavor. But the bottom line is what I told Tarek. Look, I don't excuse everything. When things go wrong at a place, yes, they should take ownership for it, and they should make up for it. If they butchered your meal, they shouldn't have an entree that they took away on the check. They should comp that. There are things. But I also said there's situational reality.
Yeah.
And the situational reality of the fact is that Boca Raton in peak season during a holiday, during the day before the holiday when the whole world is coming.
I disagree with something you said, though, in response, persnickety response to somebody that you despised on Let's Eat South Florida.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see, because we disagree with this in general.
I'm going to have one.
And having been
Yeah,
in
they're
the
really good.
business on the serving level and seeing how kitchens operate and how restaurants approach certain periods and holidays and different situations they're going to be in and big parties and all that stuff, you should be on your game. I mean, it shouldn't be total chaos. You're like saying, hey, what do you expect? You're going out on Christmas Eve. I would expect some semblance of what I normally would expect.
You are in the Mark Falsetto school.
Well,
of
I mean,
hospitality.
and why is he so successful? Because he believes that.
Yeah.
I mean, and any place I ever worked, they would go through extra preparations to say, hey, listen, it's going to be a little bit wild tonight. Let's be on our game. And if you took any pride in what you were doing, either as a server or a cook or anything, any part of the food chain there to get the food out, management, you wanted to make sure it wasn't like a mess, and that some table wasn't there waving like they were Tom Hanks and Castaway. Thank God those FedEx things washed up on the shore, or this guy would have never made the movie.
It'd have been done.
Okay, so I mean, but you should be, as a restaurant, a business, you should be prepared for busy times. You
I
really
understand
should.
that.
I
and
believe
understand
that,
your
even though
point.
things might go wrong.
Like,
I
okay.
think the service should be on point. The food should be on point, but there's going to be backups. Things might take longer. And to this speaks to another post. Somebody went on and complained about Gianni's in Pompano Beach.
You happen to fall in love with the place after going.
I liked
Yeah.
certain things. I love their salad. I like the vibe of the place. Okay, but it's one of these
I didn't really understand that complaint. I read that one.
well, the
There was
complaint
like
was
they go there for lunch and it goes fine, of course, because there's like 12 people in there. No, I mean it's crowded, and they have nice deals.
actually she wasn't. She had the right attitude.
She said it was okay.
The
but-
point was
Yeah.
she had a 6 o'clock reservation and they didn't get seated till 7:15.
Oh,
now,
that's
usually,
annoying.
if you have a reservation on the earlier
Yeah, that's
side,
Yeah,
annoying.
that kind of stuff.
it
happens.
should be, the table should be available.
They have to tell you, hey, we're way behind.
but
Yes.
they're open all day.
And-
This
and
is
that
not.
would be fine.
It's not where they open for dinner service at 5. They're open on Christmas Eve. I'm assuming like from 4 o'clock on. So they've already had their first seating.
I love when you're
And-
pacing back and forth in the lobby going, they're getting up on table 3. I see them.
I see them paying a check. I swear they're
Are they
paying
getting
a
up?
check.
That's
Oh shit! They ordered another cup of coffee.
What are you talking about?
You
Dessert?
monitor-
You're offering them
You
dessert?
monitor-
Yeah.
I'm always monitoring.
Yeah,
Should I-
you're bussing the table to get them out
You're
of
like,
there.
leave them alone. alone. Like,
Yeah,
what do you mean
that's
leave them
great.
alone? They're just sitting there. They're already paid.
But I mean, one of the keys, and you get this from Kevin and Brandon there at Batch, which always draws high praise for their hospitality because they're great at it. And then just be upfront. Okay, so listen, you made a 6 o'clock reservation. We really miscalculated it tonight. It's going to be 7:15 the earliest. Tell the people that. And by the way, go to the bar and have a cocktail on us or whatever.
They have a very small bar, Giannis.
Understandable, but
yeah,
I'm just saying, do something to at least let the people
you
know,
accommodate the people.
because the worst thing is not knowing what the hell is going on when you're thinking you're going to sit down soon.
But my explanation, again, not making excuses. It's annoying that if a place either overbooks or doesn't know the flow, but things that are beyond a restaurant's control. Well, in this case, they can't control and kick everybody out at 2 hours. So if a table they thought was going to be open at 6 doesn't come open until 6:45, and again during the holidays,
you know what you do if you want to get the people
linger.
out? You come in and go, hey, there's a car with Ontario plates on it that's on fire in the parking lot.
Everyone runs out.
Sure, it's not the Quebec place.
And now those lingers, they're out the door.
Well, and during the holidays,
But I thought you were. I would lean not overwhelmingly so towards your friend that said you're an apologist on that one. Because I believe you should be on your game.
You should be on your game. You should have a
maybe
staff
even more so.
that's competent.
Look, if you're going to give an hour window, okay, yeah, you're 5 minutes after the window. But if you're giving me an hour window and then I'm there an hour later, I will be upset. I don't care what day it is. Look, I just wouldn't. I agree. I just wouldn't deal with Christmas Eve. I would just leave it alone.
But it's okay.
But if you're going to do it and
really
they're going to
Yeah.
accept your order and they're giving you an hour window, I don't want to be there an hour. That means that's 2 hours I've been there. Like, I mean, then just tell me you
That
can't
gets old.
accommodate my
Yeah,
order.
yeah.
Just be honest.
They got backed up, or they gave away your lasagna to somebody
That's
else, or they
100%
just oversold and then baking another batch of
Exactly.
lasagna. Okay, this we're going back to Joseph's
86 the
Market.
special. That was always
I'm
out
just
there.
giving my take on that. Like,
But then the guy, okay,
I wouldn't throw the place
if
under the
he
bus
has
like
a million
he did.
things
I
to
wouldn't
do,
that.
go do some of those other
And come
things and then
back.
come back.
That doesn't work all the time.
You know what?
Apologist.
Look,
Yeah.
pick it up on Monday or Sunday.
I'm very much in favor of the
That's
restaurant
what I would
because
do.
think about the million times
I can't
people
stand
book
it.
reservations in 5 different places and they're only going to go to one.
Yes.
And then they
And that's
decide at
douchey.
the end which one they're going to, and they don't cancel the other reservation.
100%.
So they're left holding a bag many times. So it's not always easy
We're
to accommodate.
conflating
everything.
things now. Market pickups with windows, and then reservations at restaurants in
No,
general.
but I think if you're way off on this, and you're the people that are coming in expecting to eat at 6, you shouldn't necessarily figure that you're going to eat at 8 o'clock and it's okay.
My common thread in this
not. Yeah,
is
yeah.
when it's high season and it's big
You never know.
holidays,
Yeah, you never know.
especially in parts of South Florida.
Do you think
in
every place
Boca
is like that,
Raton,
though?
where there are a lot of entitled, demanding people who might not be
Yeah, but
so
you're
regard-
condemning the general public. Do
I
you
am.
think every place is like that? No, they're not.
I
A lot
am.
of places are running smoothly.
Expect a shit show, and if it's anything that's better than that,
That's
just
a
be
winning
happy.
surprise.
And
I
even if
couldn't
it
disagree
is
more.
a shit
Yeah,
show,
yeah.
be grateful that you're in this greatest country on earth where we can just go out and get stuff willy nilly, and then
You're,
we
you're
get.
like Dabo Sweeney, man.
There you go.
Thank God for
Thank
having food on
God.
the table.
Thank God for having food on the table.
There you go.
Thank God for Brian bringing us food as we're sitting. These wings have
Mayo, you
so
didn't like
much
the end
flavor.
result of
I
this.
cannot
You really
understand or process anybody who would come in here and say
We
the
disagreed with
wings
him
were
on something,
flavors.
yeah.
And that's another thing. Do you want to have any comments, Brian, or wish us happy holidays? Happy Hanukkah, happy Merry Christmas. It's all good. I love your stuff. Thank you for everything. We are grateful for food. And here they're very efficient though. If you call in here and he says it's going to take about 45 minutes for an order, you'll come in 45 minutes, it'll be ready. If you want it ready as soon as possible, sometimes as soon as possible, it's 10, 15 minutes, but that's it. But you try, you aim to please. He what's that? I'm killing you.
To kill him.
He aims to please here. 4824. Now we're talking about all the complaint posts on Let's Eat about different markets and restaurants on Christmas Eve. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be, it's all good. What's crazy? Yeah,
Yes, people were complaining about having to wait, and
Chinese. Yeah,
that's
what do you
another. We
expect?
haven't even gotten to the Chinese food one.
Yeah, we've gotten Chinese. Yeah. Who knew that Chinese food is very popular amongst certain populations on Christmas, and that it'll get backed up in communities where Christmas means Chinese food. Anyway, and then there was the complaint. Sorry, Defo, I know you hate this, but
No,
The-
I'm going to stay on to this one because I don't think you like the end result of that conversation.
No,
I mean,
no,
we're
no,
just saying,
it's
hey,
fine. No, everybody's entitled.
places should be on their game
I think
and be
places-
patient also.
you're paying
Yeah.
good
Yeah, I
money.
can see both sides. I
Yeah.
honestly can in
but
that one. Yeah.
situational reality is what I call it. The situational reality is if you want something that works efficiently and flawless, do all your shopping in the 3 days before Christmas Eve and Christmas, and then cook and eat at home, because then
what we
you
do, yeah.
you got nobody to blame but yourself if things don't come out timely or the way you like it.
I just don't think every restaurant's a mess though in that situation.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
I mean, some people, they may have been a little oversensitive.
Judging
at
by
this
Let's
place.
Eat, I think it is. But no,
Well, I don't
No,
know.
no,
I mean,
'cause that's
is
the
that the
thing is that-
rational public, or is that like
Exactly.
people
no,
that
actually, there
have
was
a good,
some very nice,
good sense of
flattering
what's going on?
posts. Somebody went to Capriccio restaurant in Pembroke Pines, had a great experience. But what blows my mind is all these Italian restaurants down here are open on both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Growing up in New York, that was verboten. All the Italian restaurants closed, which is why Chinese food on Christmas Day became such a big thing for
There's
non-Christians.
Yep.
So it's just funny how it all works. Now all these Italian restaurants are open, and they get blasted when they have slow service or they can't honor their reservations because they have lingering tables. But neither here nor there. I agree. Restaurants should be competent.
Well,
in
if you're
what they
giving
do.
someone a window, you're now locking. It's like the Seinfeld with the reservation in the car. Like, don't take my reservation if you're not gonna have a car waiting for me. Like, that's my only problem with then just don't give a window, and then that's on them to assume it would be this amount of time. Once you give the window, that's people, especially you talking about Boca, then they're in Boca. They know the clientele they're dealing with. Like, if you're gonna give them it's like when the contractors gave my wife a 2-week deadline that they would do our kitchen, and every human that's done work around their home in South Florida laughed at that. My wife did not laugh at that. My wife yelled at the goddamn guy every single day, and when he went a week late, which people thought was early when you do a construction in South Florida, she was still pissed. Like, it's the expectations you set. You're not wrong. People should just have built in, well, Christmas Eve is going to be a disaster, but if you tell me it's an hour, okay, I'm now going to believe you instead of my rationale. I just wouldn't go on the website to blast. Like, even when Defo defends it, like, I would never just go there. Like, that's just not my mindset. I would just learn to either not go back to that place or not go during that time. This is the world we live in, where people go, and that's what's great about Let's Eat is they go there and they vent, and people either defend them or chastise them. My problem was once you give the hour time, now I'm locking in. And I'll wait 10 minutes after 15. But when we start getting into another 30 minutes, another 40 minutes, like, now you're just wasting my time.
Okay, I know it's annoying. And then my response is just walk away.
Yeah,
don't
I
get your
get
lasagna.
It is what it
Make
is.
your own and don't ever go back.
Yeah, just learn your lesson.
That's not the lesson, because you do want your lasagna. Next time, call Tom T, because he delivers those lasagnas and they're freaking awesome.
Exactly.
Somebody actually left that comment. I was very proud. All right, let's take our first break. And I do have one more tidbit on the Let's Eat, and then we're going to move to other things. Well, actually, a couple more tidbits, things about oils and animal fat oils versus seed oils.
Oh, that's
which
like a
has
whole
now
thing
become
now.
a big
Yeah,
thing.
it's like a thing now.
I got lectured at a holiday party about how I'm killing myself by having vegetable oil instead of frying everything in beef tallow. But that's another topic that we're going to get to after these words. But first, before those words about the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival, which is coming up right away. Time is running out, both to get tickets in general, because events are selling out, and they will sell out in the weeks ahead. So you want to make sure you get the thing that you want the most, the event, the intimate dinner, the seminar, cooking educational class. There's going to be a great wine seminar with our friend Roberto from Union Kitchen and Bar. That might be one of the ones sold out already. Go online to vlfoodwine.com, see what's available, and then get something. And even though it's no longer the holiday, well, actually Hanukkah, you got 7 more nights. So if you celebrate Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, which is a 6-day affair, which begins tonight for those who celebrate Kwanzaa, why don't you get some Food and Wine Festival tickets via foodwine.com. Save even more on the big 5 signature events by using the promo code Lunchbox. It'll get you an extra 15% off the already low prices for the Wednesday cocktail competition, the Thursday Asian themed walk and roll, the Friday barbecue competition. That's going to be a good one. First time live fire smoking of the entrance fair. And then we've got Saturday is the what's it called? The grand tasting, of course. And then Sunday, the new brunch event. All those 5 signature events, use the promo code Lunchbox for additional savings via foodwine.com. All right, let's take that break. We'll be back with more from Wicked Cheesesteaks on North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of Commercial Boulevard, after these words.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and all right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We got Jeff Defo DeForest. We've got Mike Lubie Lubitz. We got some of Fort Lauderdale's finest in here, and I'm wondering now, they got the body cams. If I do a big bite, is that a crime? Are they going to turn on the body cams? And it could be used against me in a court of law.
Exactly.
All right, enough about enough about kvetching about kvetching or kvetching about kvetching, whatever it is. We've got some sports news to digest that we just broke, and it's kind of sad because friend of the morning Defo show, Jim Larinaga, head basketball coach at the University of Miami, who took them to the Final Four not even 2 seasons ago, announced that he's stepping down. Defo, what do you make of this news?
I think we got
one. We got a delivery. Oh man, don't turn on the body cam because I'm committing food crime. Thank you, sir. Wow, that was.
We all got scared. The 3 of us all just shut down. Oh my god!
You should be arrested for the way you're eating. It does seem like they're going to escort you to the chair next.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
I'm guilty.
The three of us were like. That was the quietest 3 white guys ever got around cops. That was classic.
That was classic.
Oh
we got the great cheesesteak going now. But again, back to Jim Larinaga. And this is a voluntary resignation, or do you think he was pushed aside, or what's going on?
No, this guy's a basketball treasure.
Yeah.
Lubie and I discovered that, and we had a common thread, which we sort of, when we had him on the first few times, people weren't paying that much attention to University of Miami basketball. And you could not help but just be absolutely, I mean, everything this guy said, you were thinking, my God, I'm listening to pearls of wisdom here. Yep. But Lubie, actually, you'll remember this very distinctly, as I do, when we were interviewing him about the NIL and the advent and the changes in the transfer portal.
Yep.
And a lot of the older coaches, including Nick Saban, extremely successful, were looking at that and saying, I don't know if this is my thing. And he sort of put the writing on the wall a couple of years ago. Then he ended up going to the Final Four because of his own individual brilliance. A lot of those guys exited for
class
paychecks elsewhere.
And a great coach,
Well, and really just a pleasure to talk basketball with. Lubie loves this because it's a true story. I'm talking to him and I'm thinking, okay, he probably knows this guy because I thought he went to the same high school as Larinaga. Larinaga went to either
Archbishop
Malloy or St. Agnes Prep. So he was Archbishop Malloy. Yeah. So there was a guy named Eddie Malloy that I used to play basketball with back in the days when we were in 3-on-3 games. And Eddie Malloy was on the same team in those games with Dr. J and the former Knicks head coach, Dick McGuire. And they held the court the entire night. So I knew a little bit about Eddie Malloy. So I thought he was Larinaga's teammate. I was wrong about this. I said, hey, Jim, we used to ask him about some old basketball player just for fun. I said, what about Eddie Malloy? And he says, Eddie Malloy? And he knew everything about this guy. Turned out he was his arch rival. So he loved us ever since then. The fact that I would even know this guy, which was obscure. I mean, you couldn't have had a reference more obscure. And so from that point on, we always had a tremendous relationship with this guy, which I had the utmost respect for him. Any relationship.
Let me ask you, Eddie Malloy at Archbishop Malloy, was he related to the Archbishop? And did he get a discount?
No, he was a hell of a point guard, though. I mean, he really was like a massive distributor of the basketball.
All right, Luby, what's your reaction?
Well, no, look, he's 75 too. That's the other thing. I mean, and it is interesting.
What are you saying?
No, for that hectic of a job.
Somebody's going to be taking the oath of office next month.
Yeah, we know how I feel about that. But at 75, for as demanding as that job is, and now in this day and age, it's not only demanding, but it's demanding and it's moving at a rapid pace. It's funny, we were still on the radio when we hadn't really thought what NIL would be or transfer would be, and he was he
saw what was coming.
Weird about it. Like, he's like, look, it is what it is, but it's going to be a disaster. He's like, it's going to just be NFL free agency times 10, or free agency times 10. It's going to be like the Wild West. When he got in on it, and he damn near won a title with it, but it's also made doing the job so much harder and so much more expensive.
There's no stability. You can't really plan for anything when everybody has the ability to just get up and go constantly. Yep. So I think what we're seeing
the good news is that might have had him stick around was Nevin Shapiro was out of jail.
No.
Pardoned by Biden.
Which I still don't understand.
I still understand what Nevin Shapiro. He was just a good old Ponzi schemer.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Dime a dozen.
Just happened to be fueling a lot of that money and laundering it through Donna Shalala at the University of Miami. Call Billy Corbin and ask him about that.
Got them some, I guess, bowl wins on the UM football team anyway. But but getting back to the whole era of what's happening now in college sports is, like you said, it's like pro sports where there's going to be constant movement amongst players and also coaches.
Yes.
And money is going to talk, and you're going to see more parity, and you're going to see some wacky things.
There's no regulation.
SMU, and the bottom line
salary
is
cap, nothing.
It's crazy.
It's actually
crazy.
It's pure kind of semi-fettered capitalism.
Nobody
And-
even knows what these guys are actually getting.
That's the
Right.
problem.
You never see a direct, statement. Hey, this guy's getting $4 million a year. It's all speculation.
Yeah, and all schools have the ability through private booster foundations to, I guess, spend what kind of money they want.
No, there's no limitation.
And this is, I guess, the kind of the whole classic "be careful what you wish for" thing. But
100%.
the only thing that's going to be constant is change and upheaval, and what also it's basically the end of an era where, whether it's in football with even a coach like Nick Saban, or forget about Bear Bryant, but some of the historic names that stayed at their institutions, Dooley at Georgia for decades, Bobby Bowden, 30 years, that's gone. And basketball, the days of a Dean Smith, just ruling, one program for 30 years is gone. You're going to see more coaching turnover. If players can get up and go, coaches are going to get up and go. They're going to be hired and fired. Everybody's going to make money, even for failing and being mediocre. And this is what we got. And either accept it and enjoy it. Enjoy there's a capability of a SMU making it into a college playoff after being just god awful, or not. And I choose not to. I prefer pros in every aspect.
Well, a lot of people are thinking it's going to turn people toward bros. I don't know. Look, I'm still into the games. I'll still watch them. I think
Pros are chucking too many threes.
Well, the
No,
sport
they really
itself
are. I
is a
mean, the game
disaster.
is like a disaster from that standpoint. No, it's a shame to lose a guy like Jim Larinaga, and I'll
Yes.
tell you why. Because if
Yes.
you went back to the bogus Fugazi cloak and cloak of amateurism that people were always saying, well, it's very important that these kids are learning from whoever the coach happens to be, as to be a father figure and a mentor of some sort. You would want this guy to be involved with your kids if you were sending a 19-year-old or 18-year-old.
Yeah, he actually cared.
And he was great in that regard, and was going to be a man who was going to be impactful on any student's life, regardless of whether he was on a basketball team or not, or she. And it's a shame to lose people like that. I think, I was thinking about it today because I saw he was like 4-8. And you're asking yourself, well, geez, I mean, how long is he going to stick with this? This might be his last year.
Yep.
And then the news came out that he was leaving now, which
Now, that's interesting. Is
Yeah,
it now or at
doing
the
it-
end of the year?
No,
he'd
it
be
said
the
he might-
last guy to quit. The last guy.
That's weird.
Yeah.
The season just started.
to do it in the middle of a season and
That's weird.
is a little odd.
There's got to be
But
more.
we're
to it.
losing. We're losing so many that I mean, didn't get embraced as enough by the South Florida sports community as he probably should have,
Yeah.
because he wasn't in a sport that was out front, even
Right.
when they went to the Final
But
Four.
when something is as abrupt as this and a little bit unexpected like this, that's why I asked that first question
he
of
pushed
whether he
out?
was pushed,
Uh,
whether
well,
something
But would a
happened
school push him
behind
out
the
in
scenes.
season? School wouldn't push you out in
No,
season.
but I don't know. Something must have. I don't know what happened that triggered this kind of reaction. Maybe something with one of the players, or I don't
Norshan
know.
O'Meara transferred to Baylor. That's one
That
thing
was
that
the beginning of the
happened.
end, yeah,
that
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
help him any. No, sure. Yeah.
All right, let's take our second break.
8 million, I think. Is
Again,
God.
good luck in the future. Do you think he'll coach again, or he's gonna
Uh,
hang
you
it
know
up?
what? I mean, he's like 75.
I think he'd
or
be a great
something.
analyst. He's really good at talking.
Oh,
about
He
my
would be a
God,
good
He's
TV
great at
talker.
talking about basketball.
They would never tolerate him though as a color analyst on basketball broadcasts. He's not screaming.
Yeah, he doesn't yell.
And he would methodically tell you something very relevant and point out something you otherwise may not have known, even though you watched the game 50 years. And they would
Oh,
not
by the
recognize
way,
that on the
speaking
networks.
of broadcast networks and the Netflix had the NFL games yesterday, and the Eagles, father and son, Ian and Noah called
Noah's-
each game.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
is that Noah on the other?
That was
Ian
Noah
did
on the other
Oh,
game.
Noah, I knew. I didn't know
with-
Ian did the other one.
Ian did the first
Oh,
game.
that's on Netflix.
Noah did the second one.
Ian did a game
Noah
with
was
Netflix.
paired with Greg Olson, who got demoted from the number one
Yeah, from
analyst
Brady.
with the Fox, and they were fantastic.
Yeah. No,
Right
Noah
now,
Eagles great.
Noah and
Lions-
Olsen should be and could be a number one team in any network.
Well, he's
booth.
already doing.
Yeah.
What does he do? Notre Dame games?
I mean,
Does
for
Notre
a
Dame
guy in his
Noah-
20s, he's
No,
he's
he's
27.
Look,
It's
Ian
crazy.
is great too, but Olsen paired. They
They were good.
the way they work together, they seemed such like a natural fit, and it was really enjoyable.
Like,
to
I watched
watch.
the early game, but we were at the in-laws, so I didn't know
Hey, and
there was no volume.
congratulations to our good friend Steve Weich, former reporter.
Yeah,
at the
he was
Miami
doing the
Herald.
game too. Yep.
Oh,
He
he was
also
on.
on the
Weich
Netflix
is my-
broadcast. Yeah.
he
Weiss
was-
is great. Yep.
He was a competitor when I was on the Dolphins beat. He was at
Weich
the
was,
Herald.
yeah, no, he's great. Good guy too, all the way around.
Great
Yeah,
guy.
he was doing
Yeah.
sidelines. He was doing reporting for the late night Netflix game.
had a few meals and cocktails with him. On the
I know
road.
he's a good dude.
He was into boxing for a while, so we crossed paths many times
Yeah.
covering boxing events.
Anyway, all right.
NFL Network, though, you catch him most of the time there. But
I didn't realize
they
that-
hired like a bunch of different people for the Netflix, and they did a good job.
They did a good job.
I didn't realize Ian did the early and then Noah did the late. That's
yeah,
funny.
they did a father-son thing, and both of them are so great. The voices.
Well, they sound the same. That's my problem. They
mellifluous.
threw,
Yeah, that's
they
why
throw
I
me
thought
off. Like,
I thought it was Ian on the second game. I didn't watch the first game.
and he's
I would never say this to Ian. He would probably agree, though, that Noah almost sounded more authoritative than his father.
oh, probably.
But you don't ever want to tell a father that he. That
No,
the
but
No,
he-
I
son
mean,
is
there's
doing
nothing
something
taking nothing
better.
away
No,
from
no,
Ian
they're
either. He's great
different.
at what he does.
Yeah.
But the kid is like he's got
He's a
something.
natural.
He's
and
really
He
good.
was really good. And I said this team of Olsen and
yeah,
Eagle
and he made it
are
also
gonna
less
be-
annoying.
Hard to believe, though, Mayo Man, especially with now on this food show. It's very relatable that Ian's father and, of course, Noah's grandfather was once Mr. Cholesterol on an ad for margarine. His father, I
really
think
was.
it's Frank Eagle is the guy's name.
That's great.
Yeah,
and now playing
he was an actor, and he was also the monk in the what was that?
the Xerox commercials. The Xerox commercials.
Xerox, yeah.
Yeah.
He was the monk.
But again, I am now Mr. Cholesterol. That's my role.
We're
So,
aware.
and in that vein, before we take our
Mr.
second
Hey,
break,
how come you don't put this whiz?
no,
on?
because
He doesn't
that'll
like the
clog
whiz.
up.
I
I don't
like the
like
whiz.
whiz. I
I
like
like the
hot
whiz.
peppers, but I am gonna big bite this for the holidays. I
Oh
might
yeah,
burn
oh
my
no, that
mouth
whole
off.
thing. Get out of here.
Nah, I'm not. I'm just
That's
gonna.
no, no, you got to. Now that you said it,
Nah, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna.
it's like the big highlight of the show, and
You're
you're
gonna
going to
be a
blow it. Come
phony.
on, Mayo.
Because you know why? Because I'm doing now a
Don't be
live spot
insufferable on
for
this,
Casa
Oh,
D'Angelo.
and they're
Well,
classy.
then
And
take this
that
first.
is one of the classiest establishments. Angelo Elia and his
How do
whole
they have
crew,
you in there? I mean,
They,
That's a great question.
because I got them fooled sometimes. I clean up real well.
Sometimes.
this foie gras is outstanding. I love the
Exactly.
truffle
Well, we
sauce.
had
Yeah.
what did we have last time there? We had the scallops that were freshly, like fresh out of the water
did
the
a
day
crudo.
before. The crudo of the it was a hamachi crudo, a scallop
Very thin
dish.
slice of
The
tomato.
I ate Angelo Ilia's lentils.
Did a
That
filet
was supposed to be
mignon.
his lunch, but I ate it and they were so good
Yep.
because they brought it to me by accident. And then
You know what's funny about that bowl
filet
of
mignon
lentils,
with the
though?
truffles. Yeah,
It's featured on the ad, even though it wasn't supposed to come out of the kitchen,
Yeah.
and probably
But-
something they would never serve.
but
to
no,
the
they
general
didn't.
public.
They actually served it as a base to the. I think they brought out.
steak.
But
the
they didn't have
steak
like a
dish.
giant bowl like a
No,
pizza
it
box
wasn't
full
like
of
what you
lentils,
ate.
yeah.
No, it was
It
like
was,
a
it
side.
was a delicious dish.
And of course, we dove into it
Yeah, well, it was-
unashamedly,
it was fantastic.
thinking, "Okay, yeah, wow, what's
Made a little
this?"
more for Angela, but
And you even critiqued it. That was the best part.
it was good. So
Something the guy's trying to eat while he's on an austere health diet. You were like, "Well, the flavors here are that was great."
Casa D'Angelo, as you wrap up your holiday season and you go into the new year, I'm not sure if they have any availability at their 3 locations for New Year's Eve, but give them a call. Go online, casadangelo.com. They've got Boca, Fort Lauderdale, and Aventura locations ready to serve you. It's just the finest quality food, service, wine. Here, you might run into anybody from Donald Trump's campaign manager to the First Lady, Jill Biden,
Yep.
have eaten at Fort Lauderdale, Casa D'Angelo. And I saw something
There for
funny.
everyone.
He used to operate one out in Colorado in Aspen, and I was looking back at some of the coverage there. Derek Jeter came into Casa D'Angelo when it was in Aspen, Colorado.
You had your Thursday night football crew.
Thursday
Yes.
night
To play.
football
They could
crew.
eat anywhere. And they
Al
ate there.
Michaels
Yeah.
came in there along with some of the other talent, as they say.
Yep.
Casa D'Angelo, whatever, everybody gets treated like a VIP.
Yep.
Every dish is exquisite. The service is great.
Been
in-
great since day one too.
Yeah.
and they
over
keep
25
just getting
years.
better. I mean,
Yes.
they're not like the
They're-
one trick pony there. They're great.
They are constantly evolving and finding the freshest ingredients, all kinds of specials all the time. Casa D'Angelo. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
You think people do that? They come in there and go, "Hey, you know what? The lunchbox sent me."
You'd be surprised.
Some places, yes. Casa D'Angelo, probably not. We'll be back after this from Wicked Cheesesteaks.
For the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining, and they are now featuring a monthly lamb roast brunch on the first Sunday of every month. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima for reservation. Fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hour 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. All right, we're back. We're back on the lunchbox, and I'm fetching about the fetching again, Defo. I apologize, but I got a couple more topics I want to run through quickly because as we celebrate Let's Eat South Florida hitting 180,000.
Nice.
Wow.
I don't know what we're going to do when 200,000 hits. I might just jump off a bridge.
Need more administrators.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a wonderful role.
Is
The
it
pay
just
is
you
great.
and Gretchen, the only two people that go through all
Me,
of these posts?
Gretchen, David Schutz, and occasionally there's a couple other Sun Sentinel staffers that do it, but they're all afraid to make any.
How many come in every day? How many things?
Again, the ones that get approved. I'm going to say over 100 come in every day,
Okay.
but only
No,
probably
it's not
about
horrible.
40 to 50 get approved. Not horrible. You try.
Well,
going to
no, if you
100,
have 4 people, it's 25. I mean,
but not. It doesn't work well.
Yeah.
There's not 4 equal people doing it exactly.
but you've seen, I mean, now are there certain people, honestly, I mean, not that you have to be like the Las Vegas boxing judges that are always going to favor the Don King fighters, but are there certain people you look at, right away, this is rejection city? I mean,
No, if it's
No?
rules compliant, it doesn't matter whether I
Yeah.
think I agree with their opinions or not. It just has to be, factually correct. And
it's like when Lubie would say, Manny from Miramar is on line 2. You want to take the call? And we're like, put him on hold for a while. Put him on ice. See if he sticks around.
all right, so one of the other posts from this morning that got my attention, a woman, and again, it was submitted yesterday, but so it was referring to events that happened on Christmas Eve. A woman goes to a local Asian fusion restaurant that's near me, and Koi, it's called. It's in the same shopping plaza as Gilbert's, our friend at Gilbert's. Tuesday evening, actually, she went in at like Tuesday at 4, expecting to get her lunch menu and a happy hour, but it's Christmas Eve, and they were open all day, and basically that she was informed that it's a happy hour is not on for holidays and that they were already on the dinner menu, that basically they were serving dinner all day or, from when they open. And because a lot of people go out and celebrate on Christmas Eve or have meals on Christmas Eve.
Yep.
And, and then she decides to make a post about, they didn't give me the happy hour prices and blah, blah, blah.
Should I actually put a post about that?
And then somebody, does the sleuthing, and online the menu says, happy hour except, it basically says except on holidays. So it's on menus, but the menu that the woman who posted took a picture of didn't have that. But you don't know if you see the full story or not based on people. But I mean, Christmas Eve in your book, holiday, yes or no, Defo?
I did go out for lunch on Christmas Eve day with the Mustang to one of our favorite places, Anthony's Clam House on Commercial. We happened to be going by there for other reasons, and we decided to stop in, have a little celebratory lunch. And they always have great lunch specials, which are terrific. I mean, the prices there are great. A lot of people like the restaurant. But they had a different menu for that day.
Yep.
And it didn't even have some of the things that I actually, usually order. So, but I thought, okay, that's cool, because they had plenty of things.
Right.
So, I was a little disappointed. I had my mind set on something, and then ended up getting something else. But it was delicious, and it was a little more money than I thought it was going to be for the normal lunch that we have there. But it was fine.
But you understood.
Yeah,
because-
And then I will say this:
So-
high compliments to, and it's her birthday today. I did want to say happy birthday to one of the fabled club and restaurant owners here, the great and lovely Kathy Vassallo of Fishtails fame. Mustang worked Christmas Eve at Fishtails, and
Okay.
they had a dinner menu
I hope she got
that
tipped well.
knocked it out of the park. And
Nice.
then again, they offered their Sunday gravy on that Tuesday night,
Nice.
which I instructed Mustang to bring me home some, however she got it, whether she had to pay for it or got it for free from the chef, which not a lot of food's coming out of the kitchen free because they go out of business.
Yeah.
Honestly, Mike Mayo, as good as anything I've ever had in that
Well,
category.
I hope
again,
that we can get in there
but-
and sample that
happy
Sunday
birthday,
sauce.
happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
Kathy.
Kathy.
Does a dynamite job. Lubie was a big fan there many
Yeah, they're
years
great
ago,
fish
and they had some specials going for Christmas Eve, and with all the complaints, if people had gone there, I think they would have been thrilled. That's why I'm saying a lot of people do it
Yeah.
right.
And I'm
Also.
looking forward to getting in there to try the Sunday
Yeah, we'll get in
gravy,
there.
whether on my own on a Sunday or
They
maybe we
had a
could,
primary cut. They
maybe
the
we-
size of this pizza box.
maybe we could get in there on a Monday and still sample
we'll
the
figure it out.
sauce. We're gonna try to hopefully
you
make
would
it.
have to try it. I'm a little afraid, sometimes to turn you on to things because you'll, compare it to, some
No.
place that the Pope is being served by his private chef, but who's been working on it for 2 years. But it's great. I have to say, I love this
I'm
kind
looking
of stuff.
I'm
I'm a big fan of great meatballs, sauce,
So-
sausages.
Happy
all of it.
birthday to
Yeah.
Kathy. And number two,
Gonna
So
be a
the
wild
answer-
party there tonight.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
so
the
let me
answer
say-
to your question, to my question is yes.
Yes,
Christmas
it
Eve is a holiday.
it is. Look,
It's not unusual.
Yeah, you could
It's-
expect a different.
It's
menu.
not
Yeah,
unusual,
yeah.
surprising to see that the restaurant is not offering their usual menus or specials.
They may
or
not have as many people. on
B,
staff.
that sometimes they jack up the prices a little
Look,
bit
what-
because of
It
supply and
wasn't like they
demand.
jacked them. It's just that it was not
changed
the
out the menu,
normal
yeah.
lunch menu, which is
Yeah.
such a bargain that
Right.
you would always go in.
Right. They went
Look-
back to standard, maybe dinner pricing.
I had a mussels dish there though that I hadn't seen the description of before because usually it's in some kind of white or red sauce, and this was a tomato sauce based that was absolutely phenomenal. $9 for these mussels
nice.
at
Nice.
Anthony's Clam House.
Very
Great.
So
dish.
look, growing up for me, you guys were growing up in a totally different era. I presume Christmas Eve wasn't even a thing. Like even when I was little, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was super nighttime because a lot of people like at midnight would open gifts or whatever, and then Christmas Day was the thing. But we're in South Florida. The Latin contingent, Latinx contingent, Hispanic contingent is strong here. Well, the Latin contingent celebrates for the most part Christmas Eve. It's Noche Buena is the holiday, okay? And then they bleed into Christmas Day and they do some Christmas Day, but Christmas Eve is a holiday into Christmas Day. So I would say nowadays, yes, it is. Like nowadays, a lot of places were closed Christmas Eve or they were closed by 4:00 Christmas Eve. So also what I've learned is, especially doing these shows, it's a holiday whenever they want it to be a holiday. Like if it's a very busy time of the year where they know that they're going to get really strong clientele and they may even want to weed out some clientele because again, if they're too busy, people get pissed, then they may raise prices during that. Like I've sort of gotten used to, especially South Florida is a very event-driven seasonal region. Like you go somewhere, prices are different. Okay, well, it's Christmas Eve,
Again,
guys. Like
situational reality. Officially on the calendar is Christmas Eve considered a federal holiday?
not yet, no.
Not really, but a lot of offices and federal employees were given the day off.
We've been
And
taking
a lot of banks.
two Jews
closed
on the
at 2
radio. We've been
p.m.
taking Christmas Eve off, and we were doing morning shows for
Well,
years. Like,
yeah.
and no one batted an eye at it. It was
We
sort of
Jews will-
understood.
will
like,
have any excuse.
Yeah,
for
but
a
it was 'cause
holiday day
everyone was off,
Oh,
like-
it's too bishvat. We can't work today.
no, but everyone did it. Like, we weren't like the whole building was shut down by Christmas Eve. It's just sort of become an
It's-
extension of Christmas. Like,
Yeah.
it just has.
So the bottom line is situational reality is my phrase of the day.
There you go.
Certain days you got to expect certain things. Don't be surprised by certain things, and try not to get annoyed too much by certain things. Except I'm allowed to get
Yeah,
annoyed
you're the king.
about all the annoyances that's
There
on
you
Let's See.
I couldn't
Hey,
be happier with what happened for Christmas Eve. 2 different restaurants, both delivered.
great.
Yeah, see,
Right
Devo
on the
had a
money.
good
Yeah.
exactly. See, Devo had great experience on Christmas Eve, so it's not an automatic.
Let's
Pick your spots, I guess, as
Yeah.
they say.
let's take the final. Well, before the final break, another place that exudes class, Tropical Acres. They had a great service yesterday for Christmas.
See, now I
Day.
would not expect them to have all kinds of entanglements. It's not like
Nope.
American Airlines.
Gee,
They
it's
are
funny.
so
They're
smooth.
smooth on
And
these
no,
days,
they
yeah.
are not like American
No, they're
Airlines.
smooth on these days.
They have been doing this for decades, 75 years, and they know how to handle their
Yeah.
1,200,
Yeah.
Did you
cover
see Jack
days.
coming in and just looking around and going, "Oh my God, it's chaos"?
No,
He
no.
would never stand for this
Because they're
Yeah.
well versed in the art of mass hospitality.
Yes,
where
yes, that's a good one.
when hundreds of people are coming in on the same day for a holiday,
Mhm.
they've got things down to a science, and they got through Christmas Day, and they're going to be getting up for their New Year's Eve celebration. Give them a call now. Get in on the reservations book. Some of the slots might be filled already. Don't get upset. Just get a time that's good enough for you, or another day that works, because they are
Exactly.
open every day but Sunday. And tonight you go in there, you're going to get a happy hour. You know why? Not a holiday. Boxing Day, maybe in England, maybe in
We're
Canada.
in America.
Here, they're going to give you the usual great happy hour deals, half price on all top shelf liquor, including my favorite, the Belvedere Martinis, for only $8. That's from 4:30 to 6:30 in the bar only. Then you go into the dining room, you get great value on all the classics, the prime rib, the filet mignons, the
Scallops.
rack of lamb, the broiled scallops. It's all there. Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road in Dania Beach. Again, give them a call for your reservations, 954-989-2500. Jack Studiali and family, all class, all hospitality. They want everybody to leave happy, and you will. All right, let's take our final break. You know what? Tell them Defo sent you, not the lunchbox.
People have been sending people
I
there a
won't
long
carry
time.
any weight. What are you talking about?
I mean,
Who's that?
just as much, if not more weight.
They know who Defo is there. Studiali, he's
No,
a big fan.
that is a great place. I mean, deserving of the Andy Cagnetta distinction of being
Yep.
named one of the iconic restaurants here in
eatery
South Florida.
South Florida.
Yeah.
All good. All right, let's take our final break, and we'll wrap up this Boxing Day edition of the Lunchbox after these words. Looking for great seafood that's a little further inland? Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C. 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial. Serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the new river. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed. All right, we're almost done here from Wicked Cheesesteaks. Thanks again to Brian. Some delicious barbecue wings, pizza, classic cheesesteak. Did you have a bite yet? You're gonna have
I
a
did
little
not yet.
Okay.
That's all his.
Yeah.
I'm flabbergasted sometimes, more kvetching about the kvetching, but somebody came in here. A lot of people have come in here through the Let's Eat group and just sing Brian's praises because the place.
Well, a lot of people
is
have come because of that,
graceful.
which I think is cool. Like,
And-
oh, I've heard so much on the group. Let me go
But
check out
somebody
Wicked.
came in a couple of weeks ago, and none of the things that happened to them has ever happened to me, even before Brian who knew who
Again,
I was.
The first experience I had, my wife and I live. When I drive here, it's like 30 minutes, but we know what delivery apps are. When you order delivery food, it adds an extra 15 minutes to what it would take you, right? So we live all the way north from here. And they were on the app, like, this is 2 years ago when we were at maybe 3 years ago, we were at our townhouse, and they just popped up this place out east. And we're like, man, that would be amazing to get a cheesesteak. Do we really want to get a place that's off of Federal and Commercial? And we're like, screw it. So we got it 2 different times. We got from Wicked before we ever stepped foot in here as a show.
You've been a
And
fan.
we loved the
Yeah.
place.
And again, we recreated the order the guy kind of was harping about. The wings with his house-made barbecue sauce, delicious, has lots of flavor.
Tons of flavor.
The pizzas are very good. Don't sleep on. A little bit overlooked here sometimes. And his cheesesteaks, he's using fresh shaved ribeye. I've seen him slicing it myself.
The bread, the guy complained about the bread being
Bread, he's
soggy, which
using-
we've never had as an issue.
It's a cheesesteak. Sometimes there's a little bit of grease and it gets a little soggy on the bun, but this one was beautiful and flavorful and with the onions and mushrooms. So anyway, I love the joint. Come on in here and check it out. Post a review on Let's Eat, even if I don't agree with it.
No, it went through.
all right.
People chatted about it.
Meanwhile, a couple of more sponsor notes. Our friends at Batch are in the middle of their 12 days of Christmas brunch. That's the Fort Lauderdale location right there, 525 North Federal Highway. 12 days in a row of their great brunch service, including bottomless drinks. That's ongoing through January. I guess it's the 5th is that final Sunday weekend of all this holiday stretch. And Delaware chicken and seafood. If you're looking for great seafood, stone crabs, or whatever for your New Year's Eve, whether it's a romantic evening for 2 or a big party, give them a call because you want to get those seafood stone crab orders in by the end of this week for New Year's Eve, which is on Tuesday. So again, if you go on Tuesday, they are very efficient in there, but sometimes it might take a little bit longer to put together your order on those crowded days. Give them a call at 954-983-6831. 954-983-6831. And last but not least, meatballs are on the horizon. Our friends at Red Meat Lovers Club. It's a night of boxing and meatballs competition. There will be prizes and belts awarded. And we got some of our friends that are going to be
Nice.
serving up
Getting involved. I love it.
their meatballs, including Prezzo, who's one of our great sponsors.
Nice.
Peter's Pizza, a friend of the
Love
show.
that, yeah.
He's got 2 locations, including in Boca and Pompano.
I love you got Sicilian involved.
Sicilian Oven is involved with friends of the show. Windy City up in Delray Beach, and 388 Italian by Mr. Sal, where we're going to be doing the show
Next
on
week.
Monday.
Nice.
It's going to be a first time a visit to a place that opened up a few months ago, and they're getting rave reviews. And I was in there with my daughter a couple of weekends ago, and also was just very impressed by their Sunday sauce, gravy, and the meatballs there. So 388 will be involved. If you want tickets, go online to eventbrite.com and just do a search for Red Meat Lovers Club, or go to the Red Meat Lovers Club website I believe it's redmeatloversclub.com. All right, Defo, we got through it. Golf stream tomorrow.
Stream, baby.
We're going to be betting on horses and getting ready for New Year's Eve and the whole New Year's week ahead. Lots of football. And until then, enjoy every sandwich. You didn't get into the seed debate. We'll do that tomorrow. Animal fat versus seed
I just don't have
oils.
a take on it because I don't know really anything about any of it.
It's so ridiculous. All I can say is one is espoused by RFK Jr. and his proponents,
Okay,
and the other is by everybody else in the medical and scientific community. But we'll get into that tomorrow. But, I want to believe that beef tallow is the best way to saute my vegetables, but we'll see about that. All right, once again, enjoy every cheesesteak. Enjoy every sandwich.
Cheese, pudding, and saveloy. What next is